Okay, welcome everyone. This is the Town of Halifax Finance Committee. Tonight is Monday, July 1st at 7:01 p.m. We're being recorded by Area 58. On tonight's agenda, reserve fund transfers, line item transfers, reviewing interested candidates for the secretary position for the Finance Committee, mail and public participation, and then mail and correspondence. Okay, so we'll start with the reserve fund transfers then. No. One thing off the list. Now to the numerous line item transfers. Okay, thank you, Sandy, for dividing these up for us. So, just so everyone sees these two piles, we had the set that have been voted on by the Board of Selectmen, but that we haven't taken action on yet, and then the ones that we have yet to take action on, and the Board of Selectmen has yet to take action on. So we can start with pile on the left first. Okay.
It could be multiple copies, so.
Yeah, this one looks like there's only one copy of.
Yeah, that's all you need is one copy.
Okay. All right. So, please transfer the amount of $100 from Parks wages. The budget amount for this fiscal year is $100. The current balance is $100. Transfer to Parks expenses. The budget amount for this fiscal year is $450. The current balance is $6.41. I would like to do more work at
Lincoln Street.
Yep. Beach, and I'd like to buy more floats. Do
It would be
I?
helpful simply because if the beach is gonna be this popular, it'd be helpful to have better guidance both for swimmers and for boaters. Board the swimmers.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion second. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay.
Only one copy then.
Yeah.
One?
Yeah. Well, that one was this one. This next one has two copies.
Line item transfers really only need one original, so.
Okay.
And let's
some
make
people just provide more.
the pile like right in front of Bill or right in front of you, Len, wherever it's perfect. Thank you. Okay. Next one, please transfer the amount of $3,000 from account fire department wages. Budget amount was $922,164. Current balance is $147,166.22. The reason is no storm, so there was less overtime. Transfer to account fire training wages full time. Amount was $54,146. Current balance is negative $1,433.04. Reason for the projected deficit is FY19 training budget was reduced by $5,000. New employees required additional training per our EMS director. This one has been approved by the Board of Selectmen, but I will entertain, again, this is a transfer amount of $3,000 from wages to fire training wages full-time.
So this to bring the balance in that account to $1566.96. Is that expected to be spent?
Probably is.
Yeah, there's actually
Another one.
another one that Kendra just
Yeah.
brought in.
And one with the same.
Yeah, okay. She made multiple copies, I believe. Okay, please transfer the amount of $2,000 from fire wages, mild winter that didn't require store coverage, to fire training for outstanding bills that were unanticipated. So we've got one transfer for $3,000 and one transfer for $2,000.
So they're moving it from here to pay
Yeah.
some bills, and then taking what's left
So
to here to
our
pay the
fire
rest of the bills.
wages is separate from our training.
Right.
And the training has wages in it. And we had a grant, but the grant didn't cover all the training that was required, so.
But it's all within the fire.
It's all within
Yeah.
the fire.
Yeah, and we did reduce, the training budget was reduced by 5,000. And Kendra did also say that, she's still rectifying a lot of lines within their budget, so there may be other stuff coming from the fire department, but this one just came in. So this one was turned in on June 24th, this one was turned in on today, 7/1. So I'll entertain a motion first to approve the transfer of the amount of $3,000 from fire department wages to fire training wages full-time.
So moved.
Second.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
This one has 2 copies, and I'll keep them paper clipped together. And then I will also entertain a motion to approve the transfer amount of $2,000 from fire wages to fire training.
So moved.
Second.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This one has 3 copies. Thank you. Cool. I think this might be a record for line item transfers in one meeting. Just looking at the stats.
Could be.
Let's not try to surpass that.
To beat this, yeah.
I mean, it's
know.
a sign of my name is right there.
You guys are pretty competitive. It's like signing for the mortgage.
Except this isn't technically my name.
Although,
Technically.
Give us the mortgage.
Yeah. Sure enough.
okay. Next one is, just to keep it straight, is a transfer from the group insurance to the law line. The amount of $11,848.30 from group insurance. The reason for the excess balance is premiums were lower than expected to the law account. The current balances amount is $0. The reason for this is more court cases, grievances, and expenses than were expected. And we had talked about this in previous meetings that we were facing deficits in the law account. So this again is a transfer in the amount of $11,848.30 from the group insurance line to the law line.
I'll make a motion to recommend.
Second.
Moved in second. Any further questions?
Can I just ask one about this? Didn't this get shot down at town meeting?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to, in my head, be clear.
Yeah.
I'm not shooting this down, but
Yeah.
No, I understand, yes.
this, okay.
Which is why there's only 2 signatures there.
Well, I know why there's only 2 signatures on there, but that would happen whether I got shot down or not. Okay.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Because just to reiterate, if we do not pay the bill,
We get sued.
We get another bill.
sued and then you get more bills.
yep.
Right.
Rational logic, thinking people understand that. Gotta be careful, somebody's gonna quote me somewhere.
Thank you. Okay, this next one is from trash collection to center wages. Please transfer the amount of $2,500 from trash collection. The reason for the excess is that disposal was lower than budgeted. To account center wages, the current balance is $6,390.37. The reason for the projected deficit is that we had 2 people leave the job and I needed to pay out their vacation time, $1,939. We had a new person trained for 40 hours with the current employee, $653. So they're taking money from the trash collection line to the center wages line to account for a vacation payout and to basically have someone train to pay wages to someone who's the new employee while the existing employee was there to train them.
So 8,800 minus 2,500 would yield roughly $5,500, $6,300. Trying to,
800.
these two wash? So
I
that's
think
6,390
these two, 1939 and 653.
from the 2,500.
Yeah.
So that's going to leave 6,400 in that account. Is that expected to be
I don't
consumed?
know how much is left now, but we've just done the last FY19 wages, so I haven't looked at the balance. I didn't have this in the figure yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it may leave a little in there,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I'd rather her do a little bit extra than a little less.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion to recommend the transfer in the amount of $2,500 from trash collection to center wages.
So moved.
Second.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Only one copy of this one.
Who's acting scribe? Are you? You acting scribe tonight?
No, since we're being recorded, at least we'll have the record of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. There's only one copy of that one. Okay. The next one is from trash collection to recycling center expense. Please transfer the amount of $6,950 from trash collection. The reason for the excess balance is that disposal was lower than budgeted. To recycling center expense. The current balance in this account is $19.48. The rationale is C attached. So it's a breakdown of electric, miscellaneous supplies, hall, single stream disposal, and mattress disposal. Down here, Steve's highlighted the reason for shortfall. Budget request was lowered. Truck budget, so it looks like a lot more money was spent. Almost 4 times as much on the truck. And single stream was, the price for single stream went up, which we knew would happen. So I'll let everyone take a look at the numbers rather than have me read it out loud. But the breakout for the shortfalls at the bottom there. Thank you. There's the rationale on the bottom. We haven't taken, I'm just, in case you and Len want to see the numbers, the second page has the breakout.
All these accounts are within the recycling center? Okay.
Thank you. So, I'll entertain a motion to recommend the transfer in the amount of $6,950 from trash collection to recycling center expense.
Make a motion to recommend.
Second.
Moved and second. Any further questions? All those in favor? Aye. Only one copy of that one. guys want, while we're signing, you can be looking at the applications for the secretary position that are in that packet. I got here a little early, was able to look through them, but. Okay, please transfer the amount of $1,089 from insurance to law account. The reason for the overage in the insurance account is that premiums and claims were lower than expected. The reason for the deficit in the law account is that there were more court cases and expenses than expected. Again, the amount is $1,089. I'll entertain a motion to recommend.
So moved.
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Two copies of that. Thank you. Excuse me. Please transfer the amount of $4,034.38 from account insurance to the law account. The reason for the overage is that premiums and claims were lower than expected, and the reason for the deficit in the law account is that there are more court cases, grievances, and expenses than were expected. Again, this is a transfer in the amount of $4,034.38 from insurance to law.
Is that different from the insurance one we did earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Different insurance account?
Yeah, we have the general insurance, property liability, and you have the group insurance, which is the health.
Okay. I'll make a motion to recommend.
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Two copies there. Thank you. Excuse me. Okay, the next transfer is for the amount of $6,613.73 from fire ambulance billing. The reason for the overage in this account is that the switch over to Comstar billing service happened halfway through the fiscal year. To the account police expense, the invoice was unexpected. Previous 2 years' invoices were paid from the transition grant.
So what this is that there's various services that are part of the regional dispatch from Duxbury. Those services had, it's not call services, it's IT services, and those have been supported by state funding previously. We got the bill about a month ago for the, and we end up, I don't know why it's billed on the cycle, but it's billed in June during the fiscal year. So this was not expected. We only got word from Duxbury that was then basically the bill. This year was not a year that the state was supporting it. As it is, I'm going to have to talk to Duxbury about 1920 when they need to do the appropriation for that line item in the future meeting. But it's Since that bill won't be due until June 2020, I don't have to worry about that one right now, I just have to worry about this one.
So again, this is transfer from amount of $6,613.73 from fire ambulance billing to police expense.
Before I make a motion to recommend, the budget amount and the current balance is not filled out, should it be?
In the police expense?
I think the problem was that the fire chief wrote this up and didn't have those numbers,
Yeah.
because he doesn't have, it's not his information, I'm sure that
Right. The police expense account usually doesn't have a lot of extra room in it. They spend it pretty much, I want to say because they have so many different lines.
I think, I know for
Yeah.
FY20, that was an account we
I'm sure they
shaved.
don't have the money, I understand what you were saying,
Right.
but
Yeah.
the city can fill those numbers in.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion to recommend.
I'll make a motion to recommend.
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
And I know that was a line that we voted to reduce a little bit for FY20, so there's 2 copies there. Thank you. Charlie, do you have any sense of when you might be scheduling the next special? Or a special?
It won't be, I expect until at least late September.
Okay.
It's tied into the planning board, they received at least the first batch of zoning bylaw articles on June 20th.
Mm-hmm.
They have 75 days after that to hold a hearing.
Mm-hmm.
15 days after that, they have to make a recommendation. That gets to the 90, then June 20th, September 20th would be 90 days. So I would say at the earliest, it's late September.
Okay.
And probably for my own personal reasons to avoid doing anything right then, I'll have to look at the calendar and see what's a good Monday.
Okay.
So obviously, it'll be closed day,
Yeah.
and I don't think, it won't be, I know it won't be the last Saturday in Saturday. It won't be the last Monday in September. It could be theoretically the 23rd, depends on how fast the planning board gets going on that.
And if they hold the public hearing or not.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, it could be the 23rd, it could be the 7th. I don't see it happening on the 30th.
Okay. I was just wondering. All right. These have not been approved by the Board of Selectmen, so these are to the standard procedure that we normally follow. We make a recommendation first, and then we send it to them. First, transfer the amount of $20,000 from group insurance. Premiums and claims were lower than expected. To unemployment. The current balance in this account is $5,000. The reason for the deficit is that we just had an influx of claims, some of which may be invalid, but the town is required to pay and then hopefully get reimbursed. This amount is needed to carry the account until at least the next special or annual town meeting. That's what I was asking about, the next special. So again, this is the amount of $20,000 from group insurance to the unemployment line.
Make a motion to recommend.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
So Charlie, if we do get oh no, it'll all happen in the same fiscal year. If we do get reimbursed for those claims out of unemployment, how will that rectify the account if it crosses the fiscal year?
It would go back into, the unemployment is now a line item, it's necessary to separate account.
Okay.
It carries over everything from year to year.
Oh.
Any money going back in or any money going out, it just, it's
Okay.
in the fund.
Okay. Thank you. 2 there. Next one, transfer the amount of $240 from group insurance, premiums and claims were lower than expected, to law. Current balance is zero. The reason for the deficit is the additional and more expensive litigation and grievances. So again, this is a transfer the amount of $240 from group insurance to the law account.
That's the first of the June bills. That's the firm that was handling it was the states off of Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
The case went to trial in late May. That's done. And the reason it's now so low is basically it was waiting.
Yeah.
There's no activity needed. We've maybe about an hour on and off. Everybody's fine, and that was the first of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we wanted to see if any offers were being made to the parties. Nothing was done, so it's now in the judge and we're waiting. But now at least there's one bill and one law. I'll still have Larry's bill, and we'll go for a labor attorney, and now our normal names.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to recommend in the amount of $240 from group insurance to law.
So moved.
Seconded.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Two copies there. Transfer the amount of $5,000 from special needs tuition. The reason for the excess balance is the change in placements and increased circuit breaker extraordinary relief funds to account elementary school HES expenses. The reason for the projected deficit is the increased special ed contracted services cost. So again, this is a transfer the amount of $5,000 from the special needs tuition line to the elementary school HES expenses line. $5,000.
I'll make a motion to recommend.
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
I thought those weren't required. Is that a courtesy thing as usual?
Yeah, shouldn't they have line item autonomy, but is it because it's sped
Yes. No.
or? Okay,
It's a courtesy. They
Yeah.
could do it themselves.
yeah,
They've split out the special needs tuition and
Yeah.
transportation. Because we've in the past held them harmless if they go over on that,
yeah,
we make up the difference.
okay.
But they don't need to.
Thank you.
From special ed to HES expense. But it's a special needs because of the contract, it's the special ed contracted services within the HES budget.
Okay, this next one is transfer the amount of $45,000 from special needs tuition. The overage is due to change in placements and additional circuit breaker extraordinary relief funds to the special needs transportation line. The current balance is zero, and the reason for the deficit is increased transportation costs. Again, this is a transfer amount of $45,000 from special needs tuition to special needs transportation. Is that because the new bus contract?
I'm not sure, because special needs transportation is, it's
thing.
separate. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
vans
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
okay.
And
different
even,
things like
and
that.
even down to an individual being
Right.
transported in a vehicle. You know, if you, sometimes you'll see on the road, you'll see what looks like a regular car, but
Yeah.
it'll say
Yeah.
school bus or whatever.
Yeah.
But a few months ago, they were thinking they were gonna be short on that, but that's what they were saying anyways, and that was
Yeah.
a couple months
So
ago.
I would think it's more who we have for students
And their
where they're being
transportation needs. Yeah.
transported to, yeah.
Okay.
That's a pretty big miss, isn't it?
You can't predict
Right.
that.
Cost
But
way,
it's, again,
really
it's one
gone
of
up.
those things where they don't know who's moving into town and where we're gonna have to transport people from all, to all of the time,
Okay.
so.
And there's not a lot of competition, unfortunately, for those contracts.
Hmm.
So you pay what they're charging.
Yeah. No leverage. Right.
I'll entertain a recommendation for a transfer for $45,000 from special needs tuition to special needs transportation.
I'll make a motion to recommend.
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Go.
That park's a huge hit, huh?
Yeah. Oh, I have my granddaughter over there, she loves it, she's
Aw.
only a year and a half.
Yeah. Mine goes over there pretty much every other day.
Yeah.
And I do have a longer term concern, not that it's anything terrible, but I think I need to sit down with Jonathan and I guess maybe the building committee and youth and rec and parks or whatever, because we need to make sure that it's maintained. I don't mean anything's gonna break today,
Yeah,
but unless it's policing the grounds, things
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
yeah.
But, it's on my list, I have to, I need to put something together for that. I mean, I think Jonathan and his crew intend, whether it's the 5K or whether it's, once in a while holding a hop for hops or whatever else, to continue to do a small amount of fundraising every year to put money aside for maintenance, significant maintenance, it's
Yeah.
big race or something like that.
Yeah.
But the everyday, every week stuff, it shouldn't fall on the friends to be handling that. It's a volunteer crew, I'm not
Yeah.
expecting them to be out there.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Please transfer, oh, sorry. Please transfer the amount of $750 from fire wages full-time, a relatively mild winter did not require storm coverage, to the account fire ambulance supplies. The current balance is negative $592.26. The reason for the projected deficit is increase in the cost of ambulance supplies. So again, it's transferring the amount of $750 from fire wages full-time to fire ambulance supplies.
I'll make a motion to recommend.
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Hopefully the fiscal year recommendation for next year we made will rectify that a little.
You on vacation this week?
No, I might as well be. I don't know.
Why, you're not going to work, or?
No, I am. But everybody left early and I'm working from home Wednesday, so
I got you.
I'm on vacation next week.
Yeah, I'm on vacation this week.
Lucky you, they've been dragging me into the office lately. I had it for 2 days last week.
You?
Back-to-back drives to Hartford 2 days in a row.
How long
It's
does that
not fun.
Oh, let's see. One day was about 3 hours and 20 minutes. The next day I went in a little later, so I was in like 2 hours and 19 minutes. But it took a little over 3 hours to get home.
Yeah,
So
take?
brutal.
that was just 5 to 6 hours of commuting.
I'd pay the $115 and save the 9 hours of travel and just stay at a hotel.
Yeah, I didn't have an option.
No?
We only had the one car, and my wife needed it at 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday.
Yeah.
So I thought about renting the car, but then I'm like, no.
Yep.
Because then I'm adding the car and the hotel, and I was like, not worth it.
All right, last one. Please transfer the amount of $3,342.95 from group insurance to town share of Medicare. The reason for the deficit in this account is one more warrant to go through of $3,649.30.
Silly
So,
silly.
With the Medicare, we get reimbursed by the water for part of it, but we don't get that money up front. And so we hadn't billed water yet for their portion because she waits till the end of the year
Oh,
to
okay.
find out really what their portion is. I suggested next year we estimate and
Yeah.
get the money in a little quicker. But we will end up having a little more, but it's not gonna come in till after June 30th. So it will go into prior year, miscellaneous prior year refund.
Okay.
So, but it's hard to pin down that because it's based on a percentage of the wages and you don't know exactly what the wages will be through the year for the whole time. So,
What's the percentage? Is it fixed?
1.45.
yeah, that's what it's something like that. It is fixed.
Not including overtime. Remember, it's 1.45% of the straight hours.
Okay. Make a motion to recommend?
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, there's 3 copies here. And next up on the agenda is reviewing the applicants for the secretary position. Thank you very much for making us this. Thank you, Charlie, for making us a spreadsheet, and thank you, Sandy, for making us the line item transfer spreadsheet. So we have several interested applicants. Do you think that we could get them in for the to anyone that we'd want to talk to in person? Do you think we could get them in for next week, or should we shoot for the 15th? Just from a scheduling perspective.
I don't see, I mean, if they're local, I mean, of course, everybody might go on summer vacation or something
Yeah.
like that, but what I would do is try and move the process and start contacting people and see who can come in on the 8th.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to have Irma make phone calls and stuff.
Okay.
Have we done the survey, who's gonna be available for the 8th?
You know, fill
Oh,
the
yeah.
boxes.
Let's take a look at that first then. So, thanks to Charlie, we have a spreadsheet here of who can definitely come on. So we're all obviously here today. July 8th. I will be here. Len cannot be here. Bill can be here. Brad and Fred, are you able to come?
I'm here.
Should be, the 8th I should be able to.
Okay. So,
15th I will be.
okay.
What is that? What is Fred's? Yeah, is that a
Yeah,
yes?
I'm yes across the board.
Yeah. So that means then we wouldn't have quorum on the 8th, but we don't need quorum to interview
No, you
people.
wouldn't.
We would.
I'm here.
Well,
Brad's a maybe.
Brad's a maybe.
Oh,
But we did that before. We just had folks come in and chat with us. We didn't vote on anything. So we could still hold interviews on the 8th,
Yeah.
and then ideally take a vote on the 15th.
Yep,
Okay.
that works.
All right. So.
I'm on vacation, so they can't make me go to Harvard. I ended up taking every Monday off for the whole month.
So we can just go through the list here. I've indicated the folks I would be interested in chatting with. So I guess we could just go one at a time. So we have Daniels first, or Daniels first.
Danielle?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Fabiola Daniels.
Mhm.
So first of all, I think it's great that we have this many
Yeah.
interested
Yeah.
volunteers. Is this a paid
This is a
position?
paid-
Yeah.
Yes.
This
What
is
is
what Kathy was doing.
Or
Yeah.
what's-
What was the pay that was posted?
I believe, don't quote me, but it's something like 1650.
Yeah. It's like 1640 something an hour.
Okay.
And then we'd share this person with Conservation Commission. No,
not
this is a
being shared
separate.
It's a separate.
Those are two separate positions.
Oh, okay.
She just happened to get those positions.
Ah,
In
okay.
fact, if you remember, Kendra was working
Yeah.
both of those positions.
Yeah.
So it's weird, but yeah,
Oh, because one of the letters mentioned both, and that's why I didn't know if they were like.
because we posted both.
Ah,
of them,
okay. Okay.
And some people apply for both.
Okay. Um,
So I'm kind of with Lenny on Abiola.
Uh-huh.
That's a long drive.
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah, she
But I
was
mean, at
in-
the end of the day, I think the decision should be up to her.
Yeah, if she's
Up to her,
willing to
but-
come down and she's got no concerns about making it on time, I'm not gonna begrudge
Yeah.
where she, I mean,
Yeah, she works
Do
in
you think she has,
Braintree,
do
so still
you
a
think she
high.
has the background for it? I'm just taking the whole stack,
yeah.
pick through.
How long of a drive is that, like an hour?
no, more than that.
More than that.
It's gonna be
I
more.
think it's almost two.
It's almost 2
Yeah.
hours,
Yeah.
and then
On Monday,
at the
yeah.
busiest time, you're talking about
No.
potential winter.
2 hours, how,
Yeah.
gonna cost her?
Pittsburgh's is a-
I used to
At
go
least
to a
90
camp
minutes.
on the other side of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
My daughter went to Pittsburgh State.
Do-
It's a 2-hour
Is she
drive.
moving? I don't wanna assume anything, but.
No.
And she
I mean,
currently
there's-
works in Braintree, so even if she's leaving work after there and coming down.
I mean, based on the experience in terms of working for lottery and things like that, I think she has I think there's a lot of great experience throughout the pile here. I'd be willing to invite her down and give her the opportunity to make the drive and then see if,
Yeah.
to drive here for the interview and then say, like, look, realistically, given what you just saw, and that was a summertime drive, are you still interested?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And if she wants to
You
self-select out,
feel
that's
she has the
fine.
experience.
Yeah, enough that I'd want at least
Part-time
talk.
position.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I want to, if she, for example, makes the drive and says,
What's
I'm
your-
not
what's your
doing this at
concern with the
all.
experience?
No, I just don't, I can see 3 people in this pile
Yeah.
that are local and have experience of taking notes.
And so can I, but
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I don't wanna, it takes me 2 hours to get to work, I don't wanna begrudge somebody a chance to interview them based on.
That to me is a secondary. I'm just looking at experience.
Yeah.
One of the key things here is being able to sit there, take the notes, transcribe them accurately, and get them done.
Yeah.
And you, out of the 7 people, you have 3 that have that experience already.
Sure.
How much time do you want to just interview all of them? I'm
I
not trying to be a
No, well, I don't think
negative
she's not-
Nancy here, but
I don't
I'm
think
just trying to
she's
be
not
realistic.
qualified.
yeah.
I've got somebody,
I don't think, but looking at what she's done, I don't think she couldn't do it. I don't know that she's got the most experience or the best experience.
She has an MBA.
We're not.
Uh-huh.
She has an MBA. We're asking someone to take notes. I
Yeah.
think that's overqualified.
I don't see the problem of inviting her.
I don't either.
Again, you're gonna have 3 other people that I agree with you are local and everything else like that, but it doesn't hurt to ask her.
No, and she put part-time in the cover letter, which is helpful,
Yeah.
because at least she knows.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you that Kristen's, did you read Kristen's, Levangi's? I
Mhm.
don't want to bounce, but it said in there that she would like the opportunity to tell more about the experience and how the skill set could contribute to a successful day-to-day running of your main office.
Yeah.
So that to me says
Yeah.
Now that you know what this is.
And I think that's what happened the last time. Like
That's-
even
she's
in
doing a
the
boil.
well, but I think
Letter.
in the last set of
Well, but
interviews
does
too
she
that
know
we
that
had to
this is
clarify with
part-time?
people that it was part time. That
Yeah.
happened the last time too.
I'm not saying don't interview her, I'm gonna just say, you were talking about the amount of time. The IRS mileage now is at 58 cents.
Yeah.
It's round trip to Fitchburg, forgetting about the time, it's 160 miles. That means that she'll spend $130 for 5 hours of work, which
Mhm.
only get you 80.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a losing proposition.
Yeah. And I think that like I'd be happy to say like, hey, look, we know it's a drive, but this would be sort of what you'd be experiencing every week to week if this was something you're interested in. Would you still like to come in and chat with us about
And
the position?
having had dealt with property out in Fitchburg, the weather out there can be totally different than the weather here.
Yeah.
And you're trying to have a meeting here, and she's under 2 feet of snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it just doesn't seem realistic.
It doesn't to me either, but
Yeah, a lot of times they don't understand that we say 5 hours a week, it's not 5 hours every week. and
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
much busier and some, in the winter, we're much busier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it would be much.
Yeah, because you're going to be here till
So,
11 o'clock at night
Yeah.
and then drive home. And I think those are the kind of things we can communicate in person to someone who's still willing to come in and chat with us. And we had other people in the last one that didn't know it was part time. Even when we got to the in person interview phase, we were like, "This is 5 hours a week." So we had a lot. Like I think it was beneficial for both of us to talk in person because a lot of folks didn't really get what it was that we were posting, even though they were well qualified candidates. So we could just go down the list, I guess, and we could take a vote on each. I think personally, like if we get like 3 or 4 we want to chat with, I'd be happy with 3 or 4. I have 4 checked off for me.
I boiled it down to 3 probably.
Okay. So then let's do this. Len, who are your 3?
Tara Wakefield, Susan Voss Hadley, and Linda Cole.
All right. Bill, do you have a list?
I had the same 3 plus, I can't make her name out.
Who were yours again?
Len's were Tara, Susan, and Linda.
Kathleen Reynolds.
And Bill's are Tara, Susan, Linda, and
She's in
Kathleen.
Mansfield, which is better than Fitchburg, but not by
It's-
much.
No,
It's 45 minutes.
It's
Yeah.
just a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's west of here, right?
Mansfield.
You gotta go through Bridgewater, and it's you either have to go 104 to 24 or 106.
Yeah, Mansfield I can do with 35 or 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's still
it's-
kind of a haul.
Well, I agree.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Fitchburg.
So mine was
I wouldn't rule. I
Kristen,
think that's
Tara,
good.
and Linda. Fred, do you have a?
Kristen?
I had Krista, Tara, and Linda as well.
Okay.
Yeah, my only concern with Kristen is this boilerplate, or does she think that this is more
Right.
what it is? Otherwise, her qualifications are spot on, and she's in Pembroke.
Yeah.
Right,
It just didn't-
close and good qualifications.
Yeah, but just reading
Yeah,
it.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think you could invite her in.
And that might
be
just
a
find out
discussion.
Yeah, exactly.
if she was a misunderstanding.
Yeah. And Brad, do you have a list?
Linda, Kristen, and I actually said Kathy, but that's what she had similar note-taking experience.
Okay. So it looks like
But
we.
she also was the Mansfield one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well.
Plus, she's interested in both roles.
that's true.
Yeah.
And
But they're not on the same night, right? It would be,
Concom's on Tuesday.
yeah.
is this Linda?
That's not reimbursed, right?
Oh, well, it's gonna
Yeah.
have.
Conservation
All right,
Commission is?
just,
Yeah.
just a bit of catch-up, it's not generally known yet. The Conservation Commission got filled, we now have an open planning board secretary position, they meet on 2 Thursdays a month, so they still don't
Doesn't
conflict with the law.
conflict.
Okay.
And Linda Cole, is she still currently the
Assistant treasurer.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
I don't think she's looking to downgrade, I think she's looking for the.
she's looking for action?
And that's not going to conflict?
Yeah, do you see any issue there?
Not any more than you had Kendra and Kathy working
Yeah.
Concom in this position. I mean, the treasurer's office and the finance committee don't intersect.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, she may need to file a disclosure or something like that. but-
Yeah, and yeah. So just tallying our votes, the top 4 then we had across all of us was Tara, Linda, Kristen, and Kathleen. they got the most votes across the four of us. So if everyone's okay with, unless there's anyone wants to fight to see, we can invite those four in for next
Tara,
week.
Linda, who?
Tara, Linda, Kristen, and Kathleen. Those were the most frequently mentioned by the five
Susan
of us.
Voss Hadley? How many?
Yeah, I had
Susan
She
got
does-
2.
She does work
You
in
too.
Norwood though, currently. I don't know if that's an issue or not. But she was referred by a resident.
I mean, if you want, we can put her on the list. I'm agnostic. It's only like 10 minutes per chat, so.
I think the only two I have reservations about were Kristen and Russell. I
Okay.
think they misunderstood, the way I read it, is misunderstood what the role was.
I didn't think Russell did, but I just worry that he gets a job and can't do this anymore.
Yeah, God,
Yeah.
He's in college and that's typically what happens.
yeah.
Yeah, he's applying for everything under the sun.
Yeah, well, I mean, it'd be good experience for a college kid for certain, but if he's a junior, he's got 1 year left and then, you know, I guess it's happened before that we've had somebody sit here for a year. And
I was
then
gonna say, I don't think this is the kind of position you get somebody to make a
Yeah, perhaps
30-year
not.
commitment.
But
right?
maybe you can get a few, but I don't know if there were college, like night classes.
Yeah.
That might be a concern, or finals or whatever.
Yeah.
Especially that time of year when stuff starts to really ramp up.
So if you want, we can add Susan to the list. If you want to chit chat with her.
I think,
She's
yeah,
in my
I mean,
file.
I would,
Okay. And someone could also I mean, we could invite them and they could say they're not interested anymore. So
Yeah,
we might as well.
yeah.
So
They might not be able to show up and that's that, so.
So Charlie, if I email you this list, would it be okay for Irma to try to get them in? Thank you.
So you want to start at 7 o'clock, and how long do you want the interviews to be?
Maybe like 7:15, just in case we have like line items or anything like that.
7:15,
Yeah.
7:30, 7:45, 8.
Yeah. Actually, no. Maybe let's just start them at 7 if that's okay, and then we can handle anything at the back end. Because if we finish early, then we'll. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. We have correspondence, which the only correspondence we have is a memo from the Board of Selectmen. Thank you, Lynn, for attending the meeting that I was reappointed. Much appreciated. Public participation.
I have another question before we get there.
Hmm?
I forgot what it was though. Give me a second.
Okay.
Sucks getting home.
So we have our calendar set. We'll be meeting a week from today on July 8th, and then again on July 15th, and then we'll pretty much be on break until end of August. And we can schedule that one via email. When did the Board of Selectmen stop meeting?
They never stop.
Oh. We'll send them postcards for beaches and stuff.
You know what, in seriousness, they go, they keep their second and fourth
Yeah.
Tuesday schedule.
Yeah.
Back when dinosaurs ruled New York, they were meeting once a week.
Mm.
We were, I think a couple of years in, we were able to convince them to go to every other week during the summer.
Mm.
And then one summer, they just continued to go every other week after into the fall. And it's been that way since then.
So we'll just send them postcards from the beach and stuff like
I'll
that.
dip on my way home.
Yeah, we'll wave.
It ain't coming back. Public participation.
Public
We'll get an
participation.
email at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Well,
Did it have something to do with the candidates at all?
no, I don't remember.
Calendar?
You know, my mother always told me that if you can't remember, it's because it was either, it wasn't important or it was a lie. So it must not have been important. Because I don't lie, so.
All right. Any further anything? Could get the word out. Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:55 p.m.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.